Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes of Wellbeing with Vasilis here on Mental Wellness TV. Today, we'll be talking about well-being and minimalism, the art of simplicity. In a world that constantly demands more speed, more productivity, more possessions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Many of us feel overwhelmed, emotionally exhausted, and disconnected from ourselves. According to the World Health Organization, depression and anxiety have increased by more than 25% in recent years, and chronic stress is now one of the leading causes of physical and mental health disorders worldwide. This is where the ancient, yet timely, philosophy of minimalism can become a life-changing ally. Minimalism is not just about empty spaces or owning fewer items, it is about creating room for what really serves our emotional, psychological, and even spiritual needs. It's about simplifying our outer world so that our inner world can breathe, heal, and thrive. When we embrace minimalism as a path to well-being, we're not giving things up, we're gaining something far more powerful: clarity, freedom, and emotional balance. Today, we're going to explore how minimalism can support our mental health, what it means to live simply, and how we can begin to let go of the clutter, both physical and emotional, that stands between us and a more fulfilling life. Let's begin by acknowledging a truth we often overlook: our environment reflects our inner state. A cluttered home can reflect a cluttered mind. An overbooked schedule can signal a fear of slowing down and sitting with ourselves. A life packed with unnecessary things, obligations, or digital noise may be a way to distract ourselves from facing deeper emotional truths. And that's okay. Awareness is the first step to healing. So, how do we start? What can we actually do to shift from chaos to calm, from excess to essence? One of the first things we suggest is to observe your current lifestyle without judgment. What items, habits, or even people are contributing to your well-being, and which ones are draining you? This isn't about removing everything or living an extreme lifestyle. It's about intentional living, choosing what stays and what gently needs to go. Here are some key areas where minimalism and mental wellness beautifully align: decluttering the home space. Studies have shown that people who live in less cluttered environments report lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. A clean, calm space can create a feeling of safety, peace, and order. You don't need a perfectly styled home, you need a home that supports your nervous system. Simplifying your schedule. When we overcommit, we sacrifice rest, creativity, and emotional regulation. Minimalism invites us to protect our time like we protect our physical space. What would it feel like to have empty space in your day, not to do more, but to be more? Reducing digital noise. One of the most underestimated forms of modern clutter is our relationship with technology. Constant notifications, endless scrolling, and digital multitasking exhaust our brain. Create sacred moments each day without screens. Even 5 minutes of quiet can reset the mind and bring you back to center. Creating emotional space. Perhaps the most powerful aspect of minimalist living is emotional minimalism. This means becoming aware of the emotional baggage we carry: past regrets, toxic relationships, inner self-criticism. Letting go of these burdens doesn't happen overnight, but when we learn to release emotional clutter, we make room for joy, creativity, and connection. From a psychotherapeutic perspective, minimalism is deeply healing because it confronts one of the biggest roots of emotional suffering: over-identification with external validation. When we surround ourselves with things to feel enough, or stay busy to feel worthy, we reinforce the idea that who we are, just as we are, is not sufficient. Minimalism challenges that. It says, you are enough without the excess. That message is a powerful antidote to anxiety, burnout, and depression. Research in positive psychology also supports this. People who live intentionally, with a focus on intrinsic values, like relationships, purpose, and self-growth, report higher levels of life satisfaction than those who pursue extrinsic goals like wealth, fame, or status. Simplifying our life allows us to reorient toward those deeper, more sustaining sources of meaning. So what are some practical ways we can start implementing this into our daily lives? Start small. Choose one drawer, one shelf, one corner of your mind or life. Ask yourself, does this support my peace? Does this add value to my day or my emotional health? Practice saying no more often. Every time we say yes to something that doesn't align with our values, we say no to ourselves. Minimalism invites us to honor our boundaries, our limits, and our real desires. Create rituals of stillness. These can be as simple as 5 minutes of deep breathing, journaling in silence, or enjoying a meal without distractions. Stillness is where clarity returns. Be gentle with yourself. Simplifying doesn't mean becoming emotionally numb or robotic. It means learning to live in alignment with what feels honest and nourishing for our mental state. Some days will be messy. That's human. Minimalism isn't about perfection, it's about returning, again and again, to what matters. One incredibly supportive practice in this journey is mindful reflection. Take time each week to check in with yourself. How do I feel in my space? What am I holding on to emotionally? What do I want to invite in more of? These simple check-ins can help us navigate life more consciously, more kindly. Let's also remember that minimalism doesn't look the same for everyone. For some, it might be a more spacious home. For others, it might mean fewer social commitments, or finally turning off notifications after 8 p.m. The goal is not to copy a trend, it's to reclaim our well-being through intention and self-respect. We know from neuroscience that our brains thrive in environments of structure, safety, and simplicity. When our surroundings and schedules are more manageable, the nervous system can shift from a chronic stress state, sympathetic, into a calmer, healing state, parasympathetic. This supports better sleep, digestion, emotional regulation, and cognitive functioning. It's not just aesthetic, it's biological. In addition, therapy clients who incorporate minimalist principles often report breakthroughs in their healing journey. As they begin to declutter their external world, they begin to notice how many of their emotional patterns, people-pleasing, avoidance, anxiety, are tied to overstimulation and inner disconnection. The process of simplifying becomes a path of reconnecting with themselves, one gentle step at a time. As we close, we want to remind ourselves that the path to mental wellness does not require us to become someone new. It simply invites us to let go of what no longer serves us, so we can reconnect with who we've always been underneath the noise. Minimalism, in this sense, is not about less, it's about space. Space to breathe, to feel, to love, to grow. By choosing simplicity, we give ourselves permission to heal. Here's to choosing what nourishes us. To choosing clarity over chaos. To choosing wellness, one gentle breath, one clear drawer, one intentional moment at a time. Here ends today's presentation on well-being and minimalism, the art of simplicity. We're so glad you were with us, and we'd love to hear from you. If there are specific topics or questions that you'd like us to explore in future episodes, please don't hesitate to share them with us. Your voice helps shape this community, and we'll make sure to include your suggestions in upcoming content. And if you'd like to take it a step deeper, feel free to explore our dedicated collections on our website, where we offer additional resources, practices, and guided reflections on well-being, emotional growth, and the art of living with intention. Thank you for being part of this space. Until next time, stay well, stay grounded, and remember, healing begins when we create room for it.